I'm Chris, I have autism, and welcome to my Let's Play of FPS Maker. What is FPS Maker, you may ask? Well, FPS Maker is an app where you can create your own first-person shooter. That's right. Initially released between 2015 and 2016, based on the copyright logo below, we're going to give this wonderful app a shot. And it is a fun one. Simple, nothing complicated about it at all. And one of the games I created got almost a 5-star rating, a 4.50 star rating. The best you can get is a 5-star rating. That was halfway towards the highest star rating you can get on this app. My game already, 26 people already downloaded my game within the first few days. And I'm in a competition with a lot of other games where they sold about 2,000 of them. They're not making profit of that. So when I said sold, I meant to say that people have downloaded the games I created. Nightmare is one of my most popular ones that I created and sold between 26 and 27. I usually use the word sold, but really, I'm not making profit. I'm just, I'll give you a glimpse into what my game is, and I created every single monster, every single object you've seen in here. I created it all, and yes, I created this. I created the fist, the gun, the ammo, the key hanging on the wall. I created the layout itself. I designed it, and I called this one Nightmare. And it's kind of let's say a rip-off version of the game Nightmare from 1994, Nightmare 3D, but this is one, it's just, well, like that. But my version of it. And I decided to get a little creative and not be too much of a copycat. And I even created the shotgun that you see there. And I created these Wolfenstein characters. And I do apologize, the music's not the best, but I did the best I could with what I had. And with the music creator, you only get a limited amount of sounds to test with and such. And I created this werewolf. So when he dies, he turns back to human. And I created the physics to make the skeletons rise from their grave. So this consists of 4 levels. And I've set the enemy's strengths and healths and damage, and they can do quite a bit of damage. I didn't want to make the game too easy, but yet I didn't want to make it too hard. So I made it kind of balanced and enjoyable. And it was kind of hard to get the aim for that. And it did take some time. It's a game that took me approximately, I'd say about 4 days working off and on. I'd say almost a week of off and on working on it. And just, I'd work on it for about an hour or two. And if I felt, and I would have to test the levels over and over to make sure that the enemies could get around these objects. And making obstacles there are a little bit of flaws when it comes to having the enemies that you create go around obstacles. And so I was basically spending a lot of my time testing and running tests on this level before actually, releasing it. And just the other day I made an update adding more levels and more enemies. And I'll continue to add more to this. So if you have FPS Maker and you want to find a good game, there's a few lists of good games that you'll find in the featured in normal. Mine's is still in normal because I only sold about 27, but I expect to sell more. That's not the most I've ever sold. I did recreate Doom 2, our Doom game, my version of it, and it sold about 56 at the most, which was like over a year ago. So you have little obstacles to go around. There's two ways to get around this, and I'm going to show you. I can change the animation speed for how fast or slow I want my guy to shoot. And I didn't want the animation speed to be too fast for the shotgun because the shotgun can be quite overpowering and it would just make the game way too easy. So I did take some time to make some tweaks on that. And the hell bombs and the hell mines, that I like to call them, which are my 4th and 5th weapon on display, didn't come into idea until much later. Because I was making something that was, that consists of evil spirits and werewolves and not. So why not add a little bit of satanic to the mix to kind of add some more creepy vibe or some more spookiness to it. And it was made after, and I started this project right after the day of Halloween, which gave me the idea, because the actual Nightmare 3D, which came out in 1994, that's what gave me the idea to do this. I said, I would love to recreate a game like that. So as you can see there, I've added some hidden secrets where I'd give this broken glass, which is a dead giveaway. Didn't want to make it too complicated to find, because a person would probably just rage quit and it wouldn't be fun and I would get a low rating. But I had a key hanging up on that chain, and which would give me access to the door. And I also used certain textures for the clouds. I might have to show you how to use FPS Creator sometime, and I might show the idea of how I create a lot of my stuff. As you can see, these green little dots are actually switches. That's the switch that will cause the skeletons to rise or become visible. And you can have a set of channels and commands. It's just hard. It's just easier for me to show you how it's done rather than have to explain and articulate, because there's a lot that goes in. There can be quite a lot that can go into having to connect the laws of physics of enemies and switches. There's a lot that goes into that, depending on how much you put into a level. It can be complicated. At times it can be easy to lose your place when creating these switches and these commands, because if you don't have the switches set to the right channel of what your enemy is set to, then it's not going to work. There's a good deal of detailing that goes into creating the physics in the game and how you want to, depending on what you want done and how you want it done. And the game will slow down when you reach a certain point in the game where there's a lot of stuff to be processed, like in big giant environments such as these. And these levels are rather quite short in comparison to what you would normally get in a regular FPS shooter. And you gotta admit this, you gotta understand that this is a cheaply made FPS creator, And so there are flaws, bound to be flaws. And I did it. Well, you don't get to make these 3D modelings that you see here unless you buy the full package to the FPS Maker. Now it's supposed to be it is a Minecraft truck, I would add. So I got these boxes of grenades called Hell, and I also created this Hell mine. As you can see, when you go over it, Hell, the hands from Hell and all the flesh will rise and grab and kill anything that crosses it. And all the animation that you see there that happened, I had to create every single. I had to recreate the animation, like kind of like that of a flip book, you know. And you can, and for anybody who understands what I'm trying to get out here, can see the work that has gone into making this, the time that I had to take to get every single detail to make this animation look as good as it does. If I do say so myself, the werewolf, I think it is my best artwork yet. And I haven't always been this well artistic, if you do call it being a good artist, if you do consider this you know, skill, then thank you. But my artistic skills are getting better. And drawing is something I've always been doing since I was a kid. It's something I love to do. I love to draw. And it's something I've gotten better at over the years. Now those hands of hell do damage. And so we're going to be going through every nook and cranny here and taking out every single monster. Just to show you around a bit here and just show you all the goods and whatnot. And hopefully I won't die, because I've made the enemies quite challenging as you progress, which makes for an interesting recipe for a game. And it's probably one of the reasons why it got such high ratings. And I hope it will continue to do so. My greatest fear when I added the 2 extra levels after uploading it was that it would reduce my ratings, since I've gone a little rogue on the whole thing. What I mean by that, I did something very random, where there was one level where you jump off an airplane and give the illusion that you're free falling, but really there's a bunch of teleporters and a bunch of things that you see to give off that illusion of falling, but really you're just going through teleporter after teleporter, which acts as a flip frame to give the illusion of falling. Okay, so I picked up a red key. And there's one spot I don't think I've gone to yet. And I've used textures to give the illusion of snow, which took quite some time. And as I was creating this level, I was coming up with ideas after ideas, and most of those ideas were being dismissed because better ideas were coming up. I said, wait, not this. I'm like, okay, this. Wait, not this. Okay, this. And I kept going through this loop, which is what I do a lot of times when I'm it's one of my writer's block, if you may. It's kind of like having writer's block. You have an idea and you dismiss it, and you're trapped in that loop of being able to make up your mind on what you want, and it's something that irritates me, even though it's me that's doing that to myself. I just get irritated with my own wishy-washiness of things. So that's one of my problems that I'm trying to overcome here. So the next step is that I'm going to be walking into. I've marked each of these teleporters so that when I created the game and the laws of physics for this level, that I would know where each thing was at, so that everything worked accordingly. And so now I walk downstairs and I turn around. I'm in like a basement, and there should be a yellow key, and I should go back upstairs to go to the exit of this level, which is a portal. And how would I end up on the plane? I don't know. It's just something I thought would be random. Should it really matter? It's just a game, and a game is for fun. Yeah, see, he's just kicking, wailing for his life, and his arms just, like, add some little bit of realism to it, and then the vampires disintegrate to ashes, which I think is one of the coolest features I've added to a character, if I do say so myself. Is how they can turn into a bat, and then turn into a vampire, and that took some time, and I think my artistic skills have gotten really good. I've created these textures, those brick walls that you see, these chains. I did that in the course of 2 days. And this has become like second nature to me, almost. Bloody chains on the ceiling, dangling with keys on it. I mean, you gotta admit, it's pretty. In the little fire pit where they put coal and all that, like in a dungeon, and it just gives it that medieval feel. And the stained glass on the outside of the building, like, wow. And I've even made the illusion of going upstairs, but which really is a teleporter that spawns you someplace else. And yeah, stained glass. I just decided to make abstract designs. I didn't know what my stained glass I wanted to be. I just added colors to it, and things just happened as I went along. I just came up with these ideas as I went along with creating, and okay, so now we make it on to the interesting part of the game which I created. Okay, so now it says skydive, and as you can see, I added clouds, and all it is I added black to kind of disguise the stuff, and there's a bunch of buildings behind this, and there's a lot of detail that went into creating this. So here's what I mean by skydiving. Use the same teleporters. It says you're going up, but really you're being dropped down. Okay, so you give the illusion you're falling, and you can see the windows like flip frame after flip frame, giving the illusion that you're really falling, but it's just something I don't think anybody's ever came up with the idea except for me, and I think it's pretty unique. And I hope it's one that will get me very far. Now, what will you see here? Spawn again. And this is the last level for this update. So I plan on adding more levels and adding more enemy types in the future. Okay. He just leaps at you. Keep punching him. See, I don't want to spoil the players with too much ammo, but it makes you conserve on your ammo, and it adds that much of a challenge, but it also is easy enough to beat, but not too difficult. So I kind of balanced it out, and I think I did a pretty damn good job. Because it feels like you're actually playing a real game, rather than just some random thing that somebody created. Okay. And so that does that, and fiery flame pits of hell that will actually hurt you if they touch you, and so it's just a road and it goes into the abyss of a snowy mountain, and that's the end of the game. So that's what this is, and I'll be showing off some more games off of FPS Maker. Please be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this and such, and I'll be back with some more Let's Plays and more of this. So stay tuned and peace out.